Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? Just wanted to jump on here, doing kind of a quick impromptu. Just kind of wanted to get on here and get some last minute thoughts and some clean up some of those last minute predictions before Wandavision comes on and shows us the finale tonight that we're all super pumped for. It has been an absolutely amazing season, been an amazing ride. I've been having so much fun. What's up, Jake Cruz? Like I think I saw you saw on we got Celebrity Bikini out there. I think you said on the last one that you were pretty pleased that we talked you into getting this and watching it. It has been a ride. It has been a lot of fun trying to figure this out, and definitely be getting Snafu on here and going back and doing a rewatch and showing us all the clues that they showed us along the way and see how much we got right. Right after episode 2, I just started writing outlines and theories and all sorts of stuff. I got like 32 pages written on this series already, so once Andy gets back in the game, we'll get him on here. Like I said, we'll do the rewatch, go episode by episode, and kind of see what they were breaking down and showing us the whole time. But right on, you're loving it. Absolutely loving it. How could you not be, man? This season, this series is just everything it should be and more. I'm living from, like I said, from jump to finish. I told you after them first 2, it hook you. It gets you. At first, you're like, what am I watching? What is going on? And then you're like, oh, snap. They're going in a completely different direction. So yeah, I'm totally pumped. Can't wait to see it. But one of the big things that one of the greatest reveals we got in the last one was finding out that Wanda did not get blessed with her powers by that Mind Stone. She basically always had her powers. She's just never had anybody to talk to her or teach her about it. Maybe her mom was a witch and she was just too young and never got around to it. Maybe her grandma was a witch. Who knows? I'm not even sure, like when she was in that Mind Stone and saw that vision, that was like a future her or her at all. That could have been like the original Scarlet Witch kind of passing on the powers and giving it to her right then. Like, you're the worthy one, so, here you go. Here are these powers. Because, I mean, how is she so good and so strong and able to take down a Thanos-style villain with no education or teachings on how to use her powers? And yet she's still one of the most powerful beings on the planet. Like, that's all just instinct. So, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a rough start, but like I said, you just got to notice all the little details and everything. Like right out of the gate, their first stuff they're talking about, like my husband and his indestructible head, my wife and her flying saucers. Well, we haven't figured out the flying saucers, but we know there's going to be some space stuff going on. And the first thing she said was my husband and his indestructible head. We know that his head is not indestructible because it got broken twice. She blew it apart when she blew the Mind Stone and killed him. And Thanos reached right in and pulled out the gemstone and ripped right into his head. So obviously his head is not indestructible. He also said that he can't remember, like right out of the gate when he was talking about, he says it's impossible for him to forget or exaggerate things. And yet he forgot about that date and he's not exaggerating. So basically, he couldn't have forgot it because he said he never forgets, which let us know right out of the gate that he never knew what that date meant. So that was kind of showing us right out of the gate that, Vision's brand new and this isn't the original Vision. And we kind of knew it wasn't the original Vision because Vision's dead. He got the Mind Stone ripped out of his head and he died not once, but twice. And what if that's going to be like the reoccurring loop? Like what happens with Vision? Like he is just on this reoccurring loop of death. Like he just keeps getting killed over and over and over again. Wanda might have to kill him in this one. Like we already know we got Spectrovision coming in. What if Spectrovision comes in and they're battling him and the only way for him to basically get killed is Vision's going to have to phase into him just enough to stop him and hold him back while Wanda uses her powers to blow them both away and basically has to kill Vision yet again. I mean, I can totally see that happening. And that would be so wild. So wild. So does the start make sense now? Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, that could happen. People are talking about, is Doctor Strange coming in? Is he not? I totally 100% believe Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance. People are like, where has he been this whole time or whatever? We have to remember that he's in charge of the time stone. So time is 100% absolutely irrelevant to a Doctor Strange. Like he can go back. There is no time for him. He can go back to whenever he needs to or whenever he wants to. So, I mean, the fact that all this has been going on without him isn't a big deal because he can just warp time, go back, and make whatever needs to happen. And I definitely think that, I mean, this is about magic. I think he's going to have to make an appearance. Maybe Wanda freaks out and snaps because she had to kill Vision again and just goes into a bigger depression. And, Doctor Strange is going to come and try to help her get out of it, or maybe warp reality a little bit to help her deal with things. Where are these Avengers? Obviously, it's busy. We had a time snap. They're probably off trying to save the world and get things back in order with, double the people instantly in one day. So, there's definitely a lot of things going on. But, yeah, you can't be having one of the most powerful beings in the world just on her own little mind trip, freaking out, taking over towns, and not be doing anything about it, not be aware of it, not be handling that situation. And speaking of taking over whole little towns, like, a lot of people are wondering what the commercials are, and I think it's just Wanda's state of mind, how she's going, how she's dealing with stuff. But I think that last one with the shark and that boy on the island that ends up dying, and like basically he's starving on an island, and the shark comes up and gives him the Yoplait magic, and he can't open it. I think that's basically telling, what did we see? We see Wanda's got control of her surrounding areas, but what about the people out on the outskirts? We saw that poor lady sitting there with a tear coming down because she couldn't stop just moving in her loop. Her husband was in the background stuck in his loop. How long are these people stuck in these loops? People got to eat. These are human beings, right? You can't just stay there forever and not eat. You're going to die. So I kind of think that's what that last commercial was talking about. Not the last one, but the second to last one. When that boy's on the island, basically that shark's like, hey, eat your magic. People can't eat your magic. You have all these people locked up in these warps and time loops and in their own, locked in this situation. And you have some of them just on loops doing the same thing. How do they feed themselves? How do they go to the bathroom? Like, human beings have necessities that need to be attended to. And I kind of think that's what that commercial is. These people are stuck in an island and they can't eat. They're stuck in their time loops and they can't eat your magic. They need to get out and eat food, or they're going to wilt away and die like that boy on the island did. That was 9 days that passed going in and out without him being able to eat food, and he ended up dying. What if that happens, like the time's running out, like we saw on that toaster, the red blinking thing, the red light started blinking faster and faster, and there's been a lot of mentions of time. Time's running out. She's been here for 9 days. And like I said, if these people are in loops for that long, they're about to just start falling out and dying because their needs aren't being attended to. So I think that might have a big thing to do with it. Maybe Doctor Strange goes back and warps time so these people haven't been stuck in it that long and they're not all dead. But, that's not a small thing. Like, they kind of showed it and glanced over it, but that's a big deal. All these people just stuck there, not doing anything, can't move, can't eat, can't do nothing. That's a huge deal. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a thing. And then Agatha, I don't think Agatha gets killed. Like we saw at the end of it, she's sitting there basically schooling Wanda, holding her kids. But the whole time she's been like mocking her, your kids, where are your kids? Where are my kids? She's been mocking her the whole time, basically kind of letting it know, like, these aren't real or they're not your kids. Like, this is all just some twisted thing of fate and they're not your kids. Now, I think what's going to happen is, like, she's sitting there holding them. We already know Vision's on the way. He already phased out of the truck and he's been coming. So he'll probably come up and blast Agatha, knock her down. The kids will get loose. Basically, we've already seen Agatha can just disappear. That's how she went from the studio and had those kids in the first place out on the street. So I think Agatha is just going to disappear or vanish, and she's going to live, and she's going to live to fight another day. The kids, like, once maybe Vision blasts her and the kids get free, they'll all be standing there, and then all of a sudden Hayward's going to be coming in. So now it's round 2 for the real fight, and I think all of a sudden that's when we're going to see the kids, like, phase up to an older age, and they're going to be doing their thing. And who knows, maybe the kids will, like, end up dying or getting hurt in the thing, and that's when Agatha comes back and shows Wanda, like, I'll take your kids and take care of them. We have, we got a lot to discuss. Because one thing or another, as powerful as Wanda is, I don't know. Like I said, she almost took out Thanos. Does she really need training? But, you'd think she kind of does. You got to hone those skills. And if you're going to, like she said, basically, like Agatha said, you're the most powerful being ever, and you're using it to make breakfast for dinner. It's like, we got to tone you up and turn you into what you're really supposed to be. So I think Agatha is definitely going to stick around and make an appearance later and actually end up helping Wanda to, like, hone those powers. I think she's evil. I think she wants the powers. I think she thinks the more she helps Wanda, maybe the more she'll be able to understand it, and then maybe try to steal her powers at a later date. Or maybe she'll just, be that'll be her new coven she'll be starting. We don't know when she was taking Wanda through that trip back through time if she was shedding a real tear or if she was just faking it being a smartass, like she was earlier. Where are the children? Like, she could have been being a smartass, but I don't know. I think she was kind of touched. I think she lost her husband Ralph, and that's maybe the thing that's doing it. Now, is her husband Ralph going to be Mephisto? Does Mephisto make a thing? I could totally see it. People are like, they're not going to introduce such a big being of the MCU in like one little time, but I could totally see him doing that. Especially a character like Mephisto, who doesn't have like a huge. I mean, as far as I know, I'm not into comic books at all, but we don't know that much about Mephisto. He's kind of a smaller, like C-style character. I could totally see like an Al Pacino coming in and being a phase, like coming out, and then maybe something gets blasted. Maybe that's how Doctor Strange comes in, closes that time port, and blasts him back. And like it's just a quick little instant frame on Al Pacino coming in as Mephisto. That'd be so dope. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I could see it. And speaking of like time warps, like, do we think Wanda's been using this magic more than like? Do we know that when she used that bomb, and that was such a sick reveal again, I just love that. But we know that she saved herself and her brother by putting that reality hack or probability hex on the bomb so it wouldn't blow. And like, how did we not recognize that earlier? This is a bomb from Stark Industries. Stark is like the most genius engineer on the planet. His bombs are going to go off. His things are going to work. So it's funny that we never put two and two together. Like, wow, Stark made a bomb that didn't work. That was kind of. That doesn't happen, but so we should have seen something like that. I mean, I guess there's, millions made. There could be that one dud, but I don't know. I love that reveal and everything about it. But do we know that that's the first time that she actually was using her magic? Maybe she knew more about her magic and knew a little bit more about it than we've ever been led on to believe. Like when her dad came in and, was it just basically daddy's little girl why she got to pick it? Or did she mess with her dad's mind every time he came in? Like, who's going to get to pick the movie tonight? And she like just uses her mind power. And he's like, Wanda, you pick. And the only reason I go off on that kind of tangent is because when they went to go in there, he gave her the box. Like, okay, Wanda, you pick. Gave her the shoebox full of DVDs, and it wasn't in there. And she instantly is looking around. She's like, my movie's not in here. And they're like, ugh. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I kept it for safekeeping. And had that specific one basically hidden away in some special place. And, like, we're meant to think, on the TV show, like, oh, he keeps her favorite one in a special place. But he would have known that going in. He wouldn't have gave her the box. He would have just went to grab it. So I think he knows that she's been using this mind warp on him the whole time. And, like, this is his way trying to fight back. Like, he was trying to hide that DVD. Like, we're not going to watch that 1,000,002 times. Like, I'm done with that. So he's trying to hide it and put it away, and she's just like doo-doo-doo-doo, and uses her little mind warp powers and makes him go get the DVD and gets to watch it for how many times in a row. Like the brother's like, oh man, again you always pick that one. So I don't know. I think Wanda might have been using her little mind warping powers and her witch powers longer than we've ever been thinking. Like we don't know. And I mean, it makes total sense. Like I said, that whole little scene, like I started thinking about it, was tripping me out. I was like, I think she was we already saw what she was doing to the Avengers when she warped their mind. I think she was honing that skill from a young, young age, all the way back to making her dad pick her and letting her pick whatever movie she wanted to watch. So yeah, I hope we get some sick reveals like that. That would be tight. But man, they just have so many questions. There's absolutely no possible way they answer all our questions in this finale. We're going to have so many more questions than we even started with by the end of this, I think. Oh, I wouldn't have given Loki a Mind Stone back. Yeah, Loki might be another one. I mean, this is chaos magic. This is magic coming in. So, I mean, Loki could absolutely be another one. I think we definitely get a Doctor Strange appearance. We might get a Loki. And for some reason, I just kind of feel we might get a Samuel Jackson one. He always makes those weird cameos and shows up in weird spots. Like, I could totally see a Samuel Jackson cameo coming, and I think that'd be amazing. Yeah, logistics nightmare. And speaking of nightmare, a lot of people think it's going to be Nightmare that's kind of affecting all this and doing this. And who knows? Maybe that's what Agatha's husband is. It's Nightmare. I know I've heard that's a big thing in a lot of the Wanda comic books. I don't know anything about it, but like I said, I think if it's anything, I think it might be Mephisto. Just the little things they're talking about, demon spawn and like I said, all the way down to the little sign when they were flashing all those Wandas, and one of them said like hot Italian. I was just like, I don't know, it just stuck. Like, what's the hottest Italian? A Mephisto. So I could totally see it coming. She needs to find a healthier way to process her grief. Absolutely. That's crazy. And, that could be like, maybe that's what these commercials are, is somebody like, we know things get twisted when you try to send a signal in or when you send somebody in or a thing in through the hex, it gets twisted. Maybe somebody from outside the hex is trying to give her signals and it's getting twisted into these commercials that she's seeing. I mean, it could be something like that. So, this last one, it said consult your doctor. So what if that doctor is Doctor Strange? That'd be amazing. But yeah, somebody's telling her, it's like, dude, you got to snap out of this, Wanda, and come back to reality. And side effects may be more grief or happiness or moving on. But one way or the other, you've got to look this in the eye and deal with it. So I think somebody's coming to help her do that one way or another. How is Hayward and them going to get through the hex? I mean, we already saw that Monica tried to get a special machine that she specially made just for this, and she couldn't get it through the hex. It spit that thing out. So how is Hayward plan on getting through the hex? Like, have they been digging underground tunnels? We saw the boy was able to crawl through under. So maybe like they saw that work, so they went a little deeper, and they just, ever since they started, they've been digging underground tunnels. Is that how they're going to get in? Is Spectre Vision going to have some kind of magical power to shoot, some special thing that's going to be able to get through it and open it up? Like, I just wonder, like, we know Hayward's ready to attack. How's he going to attack? I don't know. He got the drone in, so maybe he does have something figured out, but I'm interested to see how he even gets inside. But yeah, that'll be a fun one to get answered. Especially if they want to put him in the next Doctor Strange movie. Yep, absolutely going back. Quality control at Stark Industries isn't top notch, but it is though. We just should have seen that. Like, how does a Stark bomb not explode? Everything Stark makes works. I mean, and to perfection, pretty much. So before he lets it out of his lab, I would think. So that's a crazy one. Mom might have been powerful. Maybe Wanda's family was the target of the bombing. Could be. That'd be sick. Going back in even deeper. That'd be totally sick. We find out that they knew that they had mutant genes or that they were witches, and this was their burning at the stake. Like, let's get them. And why didn't they get him out of there? I mean, they're in the middle of war-torn whatever. I mean, he's got enough money to be buying all these movies. Just take some of that money, get a cab, and get your family the hell out of there. So, yeah, I mean, maybe he was some undercover something, and that bomb was directed directly at him. I mean, it's a Stark bomb, so it's probably a smart bomb. It could have been guided right into there to do exactly that. So there was a couple of them that hit. So we never know, but that would be a deep cut. I like that. Find out that, yeah, there was something up with them and they were going after targeting them specifically. I love that. Oh, man, we have a lot to cover. Hopefully we had an hour-long finale. I think it's supposed to be like 50 minutes, but we've already seen that they give 7 to 10 minutes of the freaking credits. Now, what's the other thing? Those credits, it seems like it's only red, blue, and green are the only colors, or the red, blue, and yellow. I'm sorry. It seems like red, blue, and yellow are the only spectrum colors when everything's all forming and doing it. So I wonder, are those the 3 time stones that are at work in WandaVision? I mean, maybe Doctor Strange will come in, and maybe this next Prisms will have a green one in it because that's another Mind Stone that's been added to the mix. But it seems like those are the 3 things. We got red for the reality warp. I think that's what the red is. I don't think it's Wanda's chaos magic. I think it's for the reality stone. You got the yellow or blue for the Tesseract. And, the yellow is the Mind Stone. Where is the Mind Stone, though? I mean, first of all, when Wanda remade Vision, did she create vibranium? Is Vision made out of vibranium? I don't think so. And did she recreate the Mind Stone? We see he's got the yellow thing in his head, but Thanos ripped that out. I mean, where is the real Mind Stone right now? And Wanda's not strong enough to recreate a Mind Stone, is she? I mean, she's not an immortal. She's a Nexus power, but not an immortal. So, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Where is the Mind Stone? How does that work? And I mean, is it like a video game? Is Vision going to be like a video game where you have to you control Wanda and you can control your little extra thing that you made? Or is Vision going to be his own thing and actually be able to fight on his own and actually be able to duel? Or is Wanda going to have to control that? Because Wanda made him. Is he a real thing at all, or is it just, a paradox that she's going to have to control? That would be amazing. But yeah, those credits are a long time. But I would imagine one way or the other, I mean, even if it takes to the extra credit scene behind it, and that's where Doctor Strange comes in, because there's got to be something. I mean, if Wanda's going to be in his movie, he's got to make an appearance in this. He's got to. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind we're going to see Doctor Strange tonight. So yeah, I can see that. Hey, what's up, JD? I see you out there, Dragon. Oh man, you excited for the finale? You going to be able to stay up long enough to watch it, or are you just going to catch it tomorrow? But yeah, it'll be it's going to be tight. But yeah, I want to know how Hayward gets in there, and I want to know all these powers that Visions. I also think that James Cameron, or not James Cameron, but what's his face, James Spader, absolutely makes a cameo with his voice. I've heard people say that's not going to happen because when they had to dub it in other Englishes or whatever, it wouldn't be the same effect. And Marvel's got millions. How hard is it going to be to get somebody's voice who dubbed something over there to get that effect? But even still, if not, just for the American market alone, I think they would do that. And the fact that, like I said, when I went to go grab a picture or an image off this, and it had the cast up there right up front, one of the people in the cast was James Spader. So I'm like, why is he in there? I've never seen him make an appearance. So that tells me he's going to. Why would they have his name in there? They would not just have that if it's not going to be in it. So yeah, I think this Spectre Vision is going to turn out to be basically Ultron reincarnated, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for Hayward. It's going to be a problem for everybody. And once again, just like last time, Vision had to take over. He was kind of hiding, and then he took over for Ultron. I think Vision's going to have to take him over again, phase into his body, while Wanda yet kills him yet again. It's going to be so ruthless. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for the finals, and I'll watch tomorrow with my daughter. There you go. Yeah, it's become a Friday night thing for a lot of people, for sure. I just can't wait, man. 12:01, I'm going to be hitting it. And it's funny, last week it crashed. I was so tired last week, and I was going to force myself to stay awake, and I knew I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. And I tried for like 5 minutes to get on, and, everybody's on it right there in the whole West Coast. So it kept crashing and crashing and telling me to try again later. So I ended up just passing out and watching it on Friday night myself last time. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it actually aired. I think it aired an hour ago back east. I think it airs at 8 o'clock. Or no, I guess 9 o'clock. I guess it's just now starting. Because yeah, they're 3 hours ahead. So I think it's just now starting in New York, Eastern side. But yeah, no, it's at midnight here. It's on. Like the second it's midnight, they put it on up here. So yeah, basically I'm guessing at 9 o'clock back east, which is their midnight, is when they put it back on. I know it's crazy. That's like I had to get a buddy's East Coast I had to get East Coast thing just to be able to watch Game of Thrones and Westworld at the same time as everybody else. I had to get an East Coast account number just to be able to watch it, or I'd have to wait 3 hours. Everybody would be done talking about it by the time I even started watching it. It's terrible. The West Coast. But yeah, I think I just wanted to get some of these last minute predictions up here. I don't think our Vision is made of vibranium. I don't think he has the real Mind Stone in him, and it's going to be a problem. Like what happens when he goes to fight and he's used to using that Mind Stone as a big laser as part of his battle, but all of a sudden he doesn't have it. Like they were saying on our last stream, what if the new Vision has nanotech and he can just instantly form his body into whatever weapon he needs at the time and has all kinds of crazy weapons? He's going to be almost impossible to take down. What's Monica's role going to be in this? We know Photon's got to come in. She just learned her power. She's not going to know how powerful she is and what she can do. So it'll be interesting. Like I've already said, I think Pietro is really Pietro just dragged in from another reality. I think those stories he was telling weren't lies. Those were just the stories from his reality. That's why it didn't jive with Wanda, because her reality is different. She didn't have those stories. She's like, that's not how I remember it, because in her reality, it was a little bit tweaked, a little bit different, just like everything else is. Oh, I'm up. Yeah. I think tonight I definitely got some sleep, so I'll be up to watch it tonight. So yeah, I'll be I don't care how many times it takes to clicking in. I'm definitely going to click in and do it. But yeah, I think we're going to get some crazy CGI. I think the battle's going to be nuts. I think we get some Doctor Strange magic. We might even get a Loki jumping through with the Tesseract. And it might be quick, too. Like, he might jump in, see things are too crazy, and be like, I'm out, and bounce right back out. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. We might see, like, Doctor Strange put in a thing, and, like, the last thing we see is, like, a wheelchair start to roll in. Sick Professor X coming in. We might not even see Patrick Stewart or the other cat. It might literally just be like the wheelchair we see wheel in, and then it fades out. That would be kind of tight too. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this stuff breaks down. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get in the hex. I don't know how that's going to happen. I think Agatha definitely lives through this. She might even come back in, grab the children, and say, I'll keep them safe, Wanda, or I'll be back, Wanda, and I'll have the kids with me type thing. And that might be what makes Wanda go really crazy. And then she like pushes out the hex even farther and just warps all reality. And then Doctor Strange is going to have to come back and do something crazy to stop that. Why did Hayward say that all they needed was a little energy from the source, and that's how they got Spectrovision up and running? If all they needed was that, why didn't they just take that body and just tap it up against the hex? Like, if they just needed a little bit of that energy, why not just walk up to the force field and just touch it and then jumpstart them that way? I thought that was kind of weird. Like, if that's all it takes to get them going, why didn't they do that a long time ago? It'll be interesting, and also, like I said, I want to know if Vision's going to be able to fight, or if he's just basically an extension of Wanda, and Wanda's going to basically have to fight through him and her, and that's going to lessen her power or make her a little weaker. But I think Pietro is going to end up being a real Pietro Quicksilver, and he's going to end up fighting with him as well. I don't think he's on Agnes's side, so I think that we might actually have a Quicksilver fighting with him as well. And they might get Speed. So they might get Speed and Wiccan going. But I think at one point or another, Agnes is going to disappear them into whatever, because they're not really real and can't live outside the hex anyway, if the same thing is going to happen to them as what happened to Vision. But because either way, I mean, Wanda pretty much bore all of them. So if Vision can live outside the hex, I don't understand how the two kids would be able to. But yeah, I think like maybe at the end of the episode, Wanda and family will win the fight, and Doctor Strange will enter and snap Wanda out of it, saying it's not real, but the real people are suffering. So Wanda's like going to let go of all the hex witch stuff, and then basically the Vision and the twins will just like dissolve out of existence, and then Wanda will know that she killed her family, and she just loses it and warps all reality. I think that'd be sweet. Or what if like Wanda and family are like losing the fight, and Vision has, like I said earlier, Vision has to phase into Spectra and hold them off long enough and stun them long enough for basically Wanda to kill them both. Once again, Wanda has to kill the love of her life. Like, I could see, I kind of think that's what's going to happen. I kind of think like the only power Vision's going to have is going to be to phase into the other Spectra Vision and stall them out long enough for Wanda to destroy them both. And it's going to be devastating. She's going to have to kill the love of her life, not once, but twice. Vision's third death, and that's going to be like Vision's loop all through Marvel. He's going to be the one. He's going to be like the Kenny of Marvel and just keep dying. It's going to be terrible. It'll be so sweet. Oh, it would be a sweet way to introduce the Loki scene. Like I said, he might just get a quick appearance, just jump into a porthole, jump out of a porthole. Like, nope, this is too dangerous. I'm out. Loki could have the Mind Stone too. Yeah, that's the Mind Stone is inside the Tesseract, right? So I mean, that could be where it is. Maybe they get the Tesseract from Loki and he loses it, and maybe that's part of his show is having to get it back. But maybe that's how it is, and Wanda inserts the Mind Stone in the Vision, and that's how they end up winning. That'd be amazing. Oh man, Vision could fly. So yeah, we don't know how many skills he's going to have. It'll be interesting to see what he can actually do. Yeah, maybe that's how Vision gets his real body back, is not just blowing up or having Wanda kill Spectre Vision, but they merge as one, and that's how Vision actually comes back to being. That's actually a theory out there. That could definitely be. Right on, buddy. I just wanted to get on here and get some quick theories. I got to get off here and get the Giant Tamer to work too. Just wanted to kind of come in and see what was up. Michael Kidd, so what happened in the finale? Don't know yet. I live out here in Seattle area, so I don't get to watch it for another 2 hours and 44 minutes. So I won't know for another 3 hours what happened in the finale. But It will be fun. Can't wait to see what happens, man. I think it's going to be tight. The Mind Stone was in Loki's staff. Yeah, that's the Tesseract. So I think Loki could be jumping through with the Tesseract. Maybe they stop and get it, and that's how they get the Mind Stone back into Vision's head. Who knows? That'll be kind of crazy to watch. That'd be kind of sick if that happened like that. It's like Loki's just jumping through time and space with the scepter, and they get it and snatch it. Maybe he jumps right into like a magic blast, drops it, and yeah, they are able to get it and grab the stone and put it back into Vision. That'd be amazing. Because yeah, like I said, I don't think that was the Vision that she saw chopped up. I mean, what did he get, a spray paint? They painted him up and it was all new. He was dead and gray. So I don't think that was him. That was just a mind warp to try to get her to do whatever he wanted to. The Mind Stone and the Tesseract are two different stones? Really? I thought the Tesseract was the Mind Stone in that blue box. I thought it was the yellow Mind Stone in there. Isn't that what they were... that's what Strucker was using back when he had the two twins locked up on that Hydra base. It was the Tesseract and the thing, but really was the Mind Stone in there. I thought. Could be wrong. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get some of these those predictions up here, see if any of them come true, and see if we called some stuff before we saw it. Man, an Al Pacino Mephisto, just a quick 2-minute sighting or 30-second sighting would be amazing. Loki jumping through, losing the Tesseract, or seeing him would be awesome. And yeah, it would be exciting to see what happens. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show. Can't wait to get back on here and talk about it once we see what happens. Like I said, maybe starting Tuesday, we'll try to get Andy back on here, and we'll be starting back and doing a rewatch of WandaVision and going through and seeing all the nuggets that they dropped along the way. Absolutely. That was Loki's staff, huh? All right. We'll definitely have to check that out and see where it goes. But yeah, I thought the Tesseract was in the staff, and that was a Mind Stone. Which one was that then in Loki's staff if it wasn't the Mind Stone? I'll have to check up on that and get them all in there. But yeah, I got to get out of here, help the little lady get off to work. So you guys have an absolutely fantastic week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Be easy, everybody.